Hey everybody, it's Randy Justice. I went live a little bit early because the storms are moving in a little faster than what I thought. I'm actually in Crossville, Tennessee, sitting in the Bucky's parking lot because the storms, as usual, are starting to trend downwards. But as you can see by the radar, they are just to the west of us right now. See if I can blow it up just a little bit here. I'm the little blue dot on the map. Oops. Hey, thanks for joining me. I know it's you know, a little after 1 o'clock in the morning. Again, I'm sitting here in Crossville, Tennessee. Because the storms are actually weakening, kind of like they normally do coming across the plateau. But there is still, you guys can see, that was severe thunderstorm warning, Minville. Here in Crossville, we're in a tornado watch area, and the storms are almost to me here, so that's kind of what we're waiting on. There we go. So again, yeah, I went live a little bit early just so that we could kind of get ahead of these storms. The wind is definitely picking up, and it was very windy driving over here from Knoxville. And we'll follow the storms back to Knoxville. And right now, the strongest storms are actually most of them are in Tennessee. This line is still very strong. Again, like I said, the wind is definitely picking up here. And it's amazing because as temperature drops in the morning on the backside, we're going to have snow. The weather's kind of off its meds right now, unfortunately. Doesn't know what it wants to do. but very windy here. Uh, the biggest threat that we have is going to be damaging wind tonight. So again, we're sitting right here. I'm the little blue dot on the radar map. As you can tell, everything's getting closer to where I'm at, and the wind is just incredible right now. So for those of you who are up at the wee hours of the morning, I appreciate you being with me. For anyone that just joined, I am sitting in the Bucky's parking lot in Crossville, Tennessee. Waiting on the storms to get here. And where we're at here, we're under a tornado watch, and it goes up almost all the way to Oak Ridge, in the Southern Valley, Sweetwater in south. But these storms have been pretty nasty as they've come through Tennessee. There was a tornado in Clarksville, Tennessee earlier, and a lot of damaging winds and stuff as they've come through Middle Tennessee. And I came to Crossville to catch the storms because I really had a feeling they were going to do what the last ones did, and by the time they got to Knoxville, we weren't going to have anything. But for those of you who are watching, thank you for being on here with me. If you're new to the channel, I'd ask you to subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified anytime I go live or upload a video, especially about severe weather. Like the video, get it out to others. If you know people in anywhere from Crossville to Knoxville that want to know what's going on with the weather, feel free to share the video with them. But the wind is just incredible right now. It's blowing very hard. For the latest on the forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee, you can always click the link in the description of this live stream. Go to East Tennessee Weather and meteorologist Mike Witcher. But basically, as this line comes through, I'm going to follow it back into Knoxville. And we're probably about 15 to 20 minutes from it hitting us here. As we can see, these storms as they're coming, that one's severe thunderstorm warned, severe thunderstorm warnings. And we're in an enhanced risk area where we're at right now. Knoxville is under a slight risk, a level 2 out of 3. Or 2 out of 5, I mean. We're under, right here in Crossville, we're under a level 3 out of 5. And the biggest threat now, I don't think there's a single tornado warning right now. And I will check that. Yes, we have one tornado warning. Let's see where it's at. It's in Kentucky. And there's been several throughout the day. So, again, thank you guys for being up early with me. You guys can kind of see those trees right there in my camera and how the wind is just it's blowing. And that's the biggest threat for East Tennessee tonight is damaging wind. Still can't rule out the possibility of a quick spin up tornado, but the chances are going down the longer this goes on. And I really believe by the time it gets to Knoxville that that it's really going to downgrade even more. And by about 4 a.m. in Knoxville, this will be completely over. But again, the storms are just now, right now, they're just off to the west of us, and the leading edge is fixing to come into Pleasant Hill. Yeah, oh, okay, so we got some strong storms just off this way. I saw some incredible lightning just then, so I'm going to try to turn because that looks like the area right in front of me now is where I just saw the really incredible lightning. Again, right here, we're still under a tornado watch. Um, Not much on the map right now. I'm going to minimize the radar or just take it off so that we can, we can watch these storms as they come in. I'll keep an eye on the radar to see where everything's at. As the storms get closer to where we're at, it's the wind's definitely picking up big time. Again, if you're just joining me, earlier there was a tornado in Clarksville, Tennessee, that did some moderate damage. I've not got to hear a lot of what came out of there, but You guys can see, but the trees there in the camera that the wind's blowing, and there's been a lot of as these storms move through places, the leading edge has been a lot of down trees in places because we're talking about 65 mile per hour plus gust. My portable video camera, try to get some video of how hard the wind is blowing these trees. So right now we just kind of in wait mode, and storms closer they get, the more the wind's picking up, and it's going to be brutal when it gets you. Yeah, severe thunderstorm warnings continue to be pushed even further east. There's one just to the west of us. Again, thank you guys for being with me. And since the storms are on their way, I'm going to go ahead and turn my inside car camera off so that you guys can just watch the storm come in with me. Wind's starting to really rock the car now. Hey, good morning, Nancy. Oh, you're very welcome. It's yeah, if you just come on, I have I'm sitting in Crossville at the Buck. Uh, I really think the storms are going to do exactly what the last ones did, and they're going to die down a lot by the time they get to Knoxville. But they are almost here. And the wind's been picking up ever since I got here. As closer the storms come, that front is just the wind's going to be the most brutal thing. And I think even in Knoxville, we're still going to have some wind problems. Storms are definitely approaching. I've been seeing some lightning off in the distance. Again, thank you guys for being up with me. I know it's early. So the storms are just off to the west of us right now. And there's a just to the west of us, a severe thunderstorm warning with 60-mile-per-hour winds, and I can believe that from what I'm seeing. And seeing some more lightning off in the distance, so they're approaching. A lot of full-time storm chasers have already kind of given up, and they've headed further east because they're getting ready for the chasing the Carolinas tomorrow. Tomorrow in the Carolinas, all the way up through D.C. and up into Baltimore, could be a historic day for tornadoes on the East Coast. Very long track, very um, damaging tornadoes. We're not going to see that in East Tennessee, but parts of the East Coast could see that tomorrow. As you guys can see, the rain is just starting to move in. We'll try to show you guys the radar on the WeatherWise app right here. You can see where Crossville is there, and you can see what's coming right there in Sparta. You can see where that line of storms is. Where that one little pop-up storm that is just out in front of the main line. That main line's where all the damaging winds are at, and that's what's headed right to where we're at. It's actually kind of coming from this direction. So, wow, there we go. Now we're starting to get the lightning. So these storms are going to be very intense. Um, a guy running through the parking lot trying to get to his car way out there. And again, we still can't rule out the possibility of a quick spin up tornado or two. They'll be very short lived and should be very short lived if it happens. I think the chance of tornadoes has went down, but it's not completely gone. The storm's just out to the west of us, coming through Sparta and McMinnville. Wow, all the way down to Winchester, Tennessee, and even all the way up into Kentucky, heading into Monticello. There's a very strong storm there. The only tornado warnings that I see right now are in Kentucky. Again, we did have one. If you're just joining, we had a tornado in Clarksville, Tennessee earlier. And I don't know about you guys. I'd love to hear what you think in the chat because I mean, even in Knoxville, tonight we're going to have the possibility of severe weather. But then tomorrow, throughout the day, we're going to see snow showers. Of course, the ground's so warm, it's not going to cause any problem. But all this should be out of East Tennessee by 4 or 5 a.m. As far as the severe part. And we're actually right now at our high temperature for Monday. Temperatures will drop from now throughout the day, and we'll actually be. I looked the last time I looked, the low for tomorrow morning in Knoxville is going to be 25 degrees, and it's going to be right around the same on Wednesday morning. Then we start warming back up, and unfortunately, we're that time of year where it's a roller coaster, and again, we're just at the beginning of severe weather, and the Midwest has just been pounded recently. And of course, part of the same system right now. It's really wild because there's parts of Minnesota that have gotten over 40 inches of snow. It's been a while since I've had wind gusts enough to rock the car, and I mean that's what's going on. I don't think the camera's really picking that up, but you guys can see the trees blowing there. And this is just minor now. It's going to be really, really windy when the edge of those storms get here. And if it stays that windy and stuff, it's going to be a bear driving back to Knoxville, especially across Rockwood Mountain. But thank you guys again for being with me. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified because we're still a long way from severe weather season, even really getting started in East Tennessee. If you guys know anybody that needs this information, especially tonight, that's in the path of these storms, please feel free to share this live stream with them. The edge of the storms right now So Knoxville's under a severe thunderstorm watch. I need to look at that because I think they ticked up on some things. Let's see. Trying to read the watch. So I'm gonna put this up on the screen for you guys so you can see it real quick before the storms get to us. Um, Boom. So as you guys can see, here's the probabilities for Knoxville. That's what I'm looking at right now. So tornadoes, probability of two or more tornadoes. It's low, 20%, but that doesn't mean it's zero. 20% chance. Um, Probability of one or more strong EF2 to EF5 tornadoes is a lot lower, 5%, and that's with anywhere within the watch area, a 25% within a 25-mile area of anywhere within the watch area. Wind, that's the biggest thing. Probability of 10 or more severe wind events, 60%. Moderate. Probability of one or more wind events, 65 knots or 75 miles an hour. Moderate, 50%. Hail's very low. I don't think we're going to have to deal with that. Now, combined severe hail and wind, probability of 10 or more severe hail events is high, 70%. But again, it's within a 25-mile area, anywhere in the watch area. And the watch area extends for most of East Tennessee. And again, as you guys can see, sitting right here in Crossville where I'm at, the storms again are just off to just off to our west. Anywhere where there's a little notch in this line of storms could be location, and that could be a possibility where a quick spin up tornado could happen. Not that it will. And don't be scared. As Ron Hall would say, don't be scared, be prepared. Again, we're just sitting here waiting on the storms to get to us because driving into them would kind of be insane. And the winds have just progressively gotten stronger the longer that I've been here. So when that line of storms hits here, it's going to be very intense. And I'm really hoping it dies off before they get to Knoxville, but again, we'll see. And I'll follow them back into Knoxville and anything that's happening there, guys, I'm gonna bring you the latest that I can. And I know at some point, the closer they get to Knoxville, my understanding is that Mike Witcher, East Tennessee Weather, will be going live, and he's got the link to my stream to use. But if you want the latest on the forecast or any warnings and stuff, you can find a link in the description in this video to East Tennessee Weather. And Mike is actually up and live right now. And we got 68-mile-per-hour winds here. And I'm letting him know that I'm live here in Crossville in case he wants to use my feed and didn't get my earlier message. And again, the storms are definitely getting closer. And really, the storms were moving faster than this earlier, so they've slowed down as they're approaching Crossville. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to look at information that's coming in. So the cell that's just off to our west, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm looking at that. I'm trying to read. So there's a storm just off to our west that is severe warned, and it has its radar indicated 3/4 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it goes for another hour, and it's getting very close to where we're at. And I can show you guys a little bit better on the Radar Omega app. I'm having a hard time getting it. So basically, I'm the blue dot that's right there in the middle. It's flashing, and you can see where the edge of the storms are. So they're almost here, finally. We're definitely getting close. I really don't want to leave here until until this hits. It's not looking as impressive as it was. And now we are under a severe thunderstorm warning where I'm at, 60-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4 inch hail. And what's interesting is it appears the lightnings went way down in this. I think the storms are getting less intense as they come this way. Now we have severe thunderstorm warnings all the way out to Clinton. So the line that was headed this way is kind of died out. So I'm gonna rethink where I'm at and see if we can chase this back toward Knoxville because it looks like it's kind of skipping over where we're at and getting more intense as it goes east. Bear with me. We'll try to catch back up to this. The thing about chasing storms is that no matter how well you prepare, they're very unpredictable. And it's like, I was sitting in perfect place and they were right out to the west of me. I'm sitting there waiting, and then it kind of splits and goes around me. Hmm. So I thought I was in a great position. Well, I tell you one thing, the wind's blowing good because it's blowing me all over the road. I'm literally fighting it as oh yeah, as I'm driving. And I guarantee you when I head back toward Rockwood Mountain, it's really going to be something else. Now I'm into a more, yeah, definitely getting some strong crosswinds coming across Interstate 40. And going under that underpass, it made me think too to just remind everybody if you are ever in a tornado warning, never park under an underpass. It becomes a funnel for the strongest part of the winds and it just funnels debris right in on top of you. So never park under an underpass. I know you think it's safe, but it's not. It can be deadly. And a lot of people have died by parking under underpasses, especially in tornado warnings. It took the storms forever to get to us, and now they're trying to overtake me. So I love storm chasing. Worst thing is you can't see what's coming when it's dark out. But the cool thing is unlike some of the chases we've done, there's no traffic. So I'm not having to battle my way through rush hour traffic or anything. Very smart for these trucks to pull over because they're high profile. You get a big enough wind gust that can definitely blow one over. I've seen it happen. There is the possibility for very heavy rain and localized flooding in places as these move through. Hmm. So we are in an area with a severe thunderstorm warning, 60 plus mile per hour winds. Yeah, I can tell you, I can feel them. I'm having to fight the winds as I'm driving. If anybody gets in the chat, I can't look. Well, I'm glad I changed the wiper blades on this car the other day. So for anybody that wants to know, I'm headed 40 eastbound back toward Knoxville. I'm coming up on the Crab Orchard exit. And again, if you just come on and to see the chase, we've got severe weather now. Then throughout the day, we're going to have snow. It's definitely going to get cold. The low is going to be when we get up Tuesday morning, it's going to be around 25 degrees. Again, the biggest threat is the high winds, and they're definitely winds definitely blowing. Mm. And I knew starting to go up the closer I got to Rockwood Mountain, it was going to get even windier, and that's exactly what's happening. And it's blowing me around enough. I'm having to slow down some. And I've gotten far enough ahead of the line that we'll be able to catch it when we get back closer to Knoxville, coming in, and I'm shielded right now on both sides by the hillside, so the winds aren't quite as bad right here. Well, they're still blowing me around. Now the question is, does that line of storms hold together as it approaches Knoxville? And right now, trying to glance at radar as I'm going, it appears it's still not as intense as it was, but it appears it's still holding together. That's normally what happens, though. Every time we get one of these systems coming, West Tennessee, and everybody out west gets hit very hard. And as the storms come across the Cumberland Plateau, they weaken. It doesn't happen every time. There are those occasions, but I really think that's kind of what's happening to this line. I hope. Again, we do still have that. The biggest threat's going to be damaging winds, even in Knoxville. I've definitely gotten out of ahead of the worst of the winds, it seems. Still feeling it though. Until I get right here, and now I'm feeling them again. I don't think the camera's picking it up, but there's a lot of little limbs and stuff all over the road. So there was definitely some gusts that came through right here. Not seeing any kind of major problems yet. Of course, the line of storms is now back off to the west of us again. I really didn't mean to outrun the storms as fast as I have. but we'll get to a good point where we can get off the interstate and try to find a good place to sit and wait on them again. If you get behind the storms, you're chasing them. If you're in front of them, they're chasing you. So we're coming up on the Harriman Rockwood. Everybody just bear with me long enough to check the radar and see where we really need to go to position ourselves. Oops. Oh, we lost signal there for a moment. Um, let's see. The storms have come through Crossville. They're still off to our west. The line looks still pretty intense. We're under a severe thunderstorm watch. Uh, the edge of the tornado watch is coming right up at us. We're just outside of a severe thunderstorm warning. That line of storms is still holding together. It's pretty intense. As far as Pigeon Forge goes, I think the biggest problem that anybody in Pigeon Forge is going to have is going to be high winds. I think that the severity is going to go down as the storms continue to move further east, which is normally what happens in this area, as we all know. Um, whoops. Oh, um, I want to. I'm going to continue to head toward Knoxville, and I'm going to break a rule here and make a U-turn because there's nobody around. Yeah, we're trying to be safe. This has been a an interesting storm system, that's for sure. It does look like the storm system is going to hold together until it gets to Knoxville. So I'm going to. It's just moving slower than what it was. And what's weird is when it came into Crossville, the intensity died. Now it's kind of picked back up. It looks like on that line. So what I'm going to try to do is get back to Knoxville, get in the best position I can to intercept when the severe storms and everything gets there. That's my goal. The setting right there where I was in Crossville, it was just like the storm split. It kind of went on either side of me, and then we drove out of it. But the winds are still pretty intense because they're I'm having to fight them as I drive. And again, I see a lot more people have joined. Yeah, we're still talking about snow later today. Just unbelievable weather. Wow. So right in front of us is the Kingston Steam Plant, and we will be passing it in just a couple of minutes. And it looks like what kind of happened, what looked like to me was when we were sitting at Crossville, the line kind of started breaking up a little bit, but now looking at, trying to glance at radars I'm driving, it looks like it's solidified again as it's moving further east, which is not what it normally does, not in East Tennessee. Now, even that van in front of me is getting blown around. If you noticed, he drifted over the center line, and I felt the same winds, and I did the same thing. I would not want to be in any higher profile vehicle than I'm in right now driving these winds. Now, I really don't want to drive around anybody that's in one. And some of you guys may be wondering, I didn't think to mention it about my wife, Deb. She a lot of times will come with me, but her and my daughter have both had the upper respiratory bug that's going around, so they're both under the weather. And thank goodness so far I've not caught anything. And again, this whole system's really slowed down because it should have been in Knoxville by 2 a.m. I mean, we're at 2:38 now, and it's still now off to the west of us. And I'm hoping the longer it takes to get to Knoxville, the less intense it will be. I mean, I love storms, I love chasing them, but I don't want anybody to get hurt, property to be damaged, or any problems for anybody. So just like last week's, I would rather it just play out and be a bunch of rain. We could use the rain. Again, I apologize. I see the chat's going, but I cannot look at it while I'm driving and battling these winds. Hey, we're at the Talladega Super Speedway. I know that everybody speeds some, or almost everybody. Sorry, I don't want to paint with that wide brush, but I just, what I don't understand is it just seems like a lot of drivers are getting worse. And I don't know if it's just because people have moved to this area and don't know how to drive or don't care or whatever it is. But what gets me is Interstate 40 and 75 runs right through Knoxville. As a former law enforcement officer, I know, have knowledge of the fact of that there is more drugs, human trafficking, and other contraband. And our law enforcement agencies used to have interdiction teams. And I don't see anybody on the interstates anymore. I don't know if they don't care. I don't know what it is, but there's just no enforcement anymore, is what it seems. And I've seen two fatal wrecks recently, and both were due to excessive speed. And going 5, 10 miles an hour on the interstate over, most people do it, not everybody. But when you're doing 15, 20, 30 miles an hour over, you got a problem. Now I can tell you, I'm doing the speed limit. I'm doing 70, which is the speed limit through here. But in these windy conditions, that's about all anybody should be doing. I've been watching a lot of these other vehicles, and they're being blown all over the road too. I mean, I'm feeling the winds, and I just watched him go all the way, the guy there in the other lane, all the way to the yellow line, and all the way back over to the middle. And the faster you go, the harder it is to fight these winds. And all it would take would be one good 65-mile-per-hour gust to blow somebody right off the road. It's a little calmer right here where we're at. Well, it was until then. I really can't believe how much that line of storms has slowed down. I'm not sure if that means they're going to intensify or if they're going to calm down. And now we're going to go back to Knoxville, and I'm going to have to play hurry up and wait again before the storms get to us. The timing was they were supposed to be in Knoxville right around 2 a.m., like I said, and it's already 2:45, and they're still now well off to our west. And just because we're not in them right now doesn't mean they're not still coming. Of closer I get back to Knoxville, the winds are definitely not as bad here, but they will pick up as that line of storms approaches. As soon as I get back to Knoxville, I'll get in the chat with you guys too and see and read the messages. And we'll take another look at the radar. Oh, there's some wind. Just when I thought the winds had died down. And thank you guys for being with me. I just the whole deal in Crossville where the storm kind of split and where I was at and went on either side. But everything's still headed this way. What we'll do is as we get to the Turkey Creek area of Knoxville, we'll take a look at the radar, and I'll try to decide the best spot along that line of storms to intercept. And I may head over to the north side of town, kind of trying to glance at the radar as I'm driving, which is hard to do. But it looks like that the northern edge of this is going to reach Knoxville first. But again, I'm going to look at the radar and see where the most intense parts are. Does look like the severe storms moved into Roane County, so just to the west of us. So for anybody that might have just joined, I am back in Knoxville. I'm gonna get off at Lovell Road and plan where to go to intercept this line. Appreciate you guys being so patient with me too. Go in here, pilot. So be a good place to take a look at the radar. Okay, and time to look at the chat too. All right, let me go back here and I'm going to take a look real quick at everything we've been talking about in the chat that I'm not being able to read. Um, I wish it was during the day too. Unfortunately, it's just, of course, as slow as these storms are coming, it may be daylight before they get here. And I totally agree. Once it gets here, it's not going to last long. Yeah, there's been a lot of people sick. That's for sure. Yeah, Florida's had storms today too. It's just been bad weather everywhere. And again, on the northern end, you have all the snow. Oh, thank you very much. I'm doing my best to drive safe. Yes, the winds and thunderstorms are crazy. I'm laughing because I just read a message there from my lovely wife. Hello, Deb. Um, our cat Steve um, evidently decided it was time to wake her up, so he woke her up for the storm. And I'm at Level Road in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's where I'm at. So now I'm going to pull the radar up to see what we have here. Give me just a moment. Okay. So the storms right now, man, they are still intense now. They actually look better now than they did when we were in Crossville. But they're in Harriman right now, which we just came through there. But there's still some very intense storms there. Still severe warned. I'm looking to see. Looks like there's only one tornado warning in the country right now, and it's in Alabama. Looking to see if there's anything else. There's still this line of storms just all the way. What's interesting is the most intense parts right now that I can see looks like it stretches from about Williamsburg, Kentucky, all the way through Tennessee down Chattanooga, then kind of takes a break, and just south of uh, Fort Payne, Alabama, then it's intense again all the way, well, all the way down to the Gulf. So it's really kind of interesting how it's playing out. Um, Here in Knoxville, we're still under a severe thunderstorm watch. To let you know the probabilities, when we talk about tornadoes, very low probability, but there's probability 20% that there could be two or more tornadoes, and that's within a 25-mile radius of any given point within the watch area. The biggest threat is wind when these storms actually get here. So again, I appreciate everybody that's with me. Um, it's going to be a little bit before the storms get here. Let me look at the map again to see exactly where I want to go. And to be totally honest, guys, it's really kind of tough to know where I want to be. So definitely Roane County, where we came through Kingston, it is pouring down the rain there now. And see what the winds are doing. So coming through Roane County, we were there. Right now, it's showing sustained winds of oh my gosh, they just had 108-mile-per-hour wind gust in Roane County. So that's what's headed toward Knoxville. But that was 108-mile-per-hour wind gust. And earlier, 5 minutes ago, they had 136-mile-per-hour wind gust. Let me see if I can pull this up and show some of this to you guys. Well, looking at that reporting station doesn't have the wind. That's about right. I'm trying to see if I can find anywhere else that has updated wind data. Now, I wish there was a way. Unfortunately, where I'm looking at this, it's I can't show it because it says not for broadcast without the owner's permission. But looking at these storms as they're coming through Roane County, so that's where the leading edge came through. That we had the high wind gust because now, well, now it still has 77-mile-per-hour wind gust just then. But 5 minutes ago, they had 136-mile-per-hour wind gusts come through Roane County. And I'm trying to see where this is, where this, and that's at the Roane County Emergency Management Agency. The winds have dropped since it came through, but that's what you can expect as it moves toward Knoxville. As these storms move in, you can expect winds like that. Um, I'm going to go back and look at the history as it came through Crossville. See, when it came through Crossville, and that's where we were at. The highest wind gust they had was 25 miles per hour. So the storms that came through there and kind of dissipated as they got to us have picked up, and that's where the higher wind gusts have come from. Because before they got to Crossville, as soon as I can find it, yeah, actually, the closer they get this way, it looks like the winds have actually picked up in intensity. So high winds, that's going to be the biggest thing that's coming. Hey Victoria, good to see you on here. Up in the wee hours of the morning, I see. Yeah, 108, but now 136 miles per hour out of Kingston. That's incredible, and that's all headed in our direction. And the storm should be approaching. And the Tennessee Smartway cam in Roane County at mile marker 341.3. In Rockwood Mountain, uh, appears to be down. Let's see about this one. See anything? So I'm gonna show you guys how much the wind's blowing. Give me just a second here. Well, I thought it would. Now I'm getting hit by winds here. Now I can't get the map to come up on the feed. But looking at the Tennessee Sparkway cam, Pillissippi at Dutchtown, oh, the wind is just blowing it all over the place. So there's a pretty big storm in Kingston right now that's tracking right in this direction. And of course, that's where the horrible winds were. You can go back and see what the winds are there right now. So the winds since the leading edge of the storm came through, the winds have died way down. Now they're in the 19 to 20 mile per hour range. There was a 33 mile per hour gust I just witnessed. But again, when that storm approached Kingston, 136 mile per hour gust. And with a 136 mile per hour gust, you don't it doesn't take much, unfortunately. And it's just the leading edge again is past Kingston. It's about Cedar Grove right now. We're right in the path of that storm that produced that 160 mile per hour gust, or 100. I'm sorry, 136 mile per hour gust. So it's headed right for where I'm at. So I don't think I'm going anywhere. Um, hey Jeff, how y'all? Yeah, over Chattanooga. Let me look at Chattanooga right now. Uh, And it doesn't look like I've got any weather stations close to Chattanooga that I can really look at. Let's see. Oh, yep, UT's got a weather station there. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So what's coming through Chattanooga is not bad. The highest wind gust they've had is 27.8 miles per hour. Nothing like the storm that's headed toward us right now. That one that's coming out of Kingston, which is headed right in our direction, that's the one that had the 136 mile per hour wind gust with it. And the wind is definitely picked up the closer it gets to us here. So right now I'm gonna stay right where I'm at because the leading edge is just off to the west. So it's coming. And it's interesting, our temperatures actually went up a little bit since I got back to Knoxville because when we were in Crossville, it was down to 64. Now it's 69 here. But again, Tuesday morning's temperature is going to be 25, or that's the last I saw. Yeah, that's it. 136 mile per hour wind gust. That's equivalent to an EF3 tornado. So you don't have to have a tornado when you're talking about these high winds to do a lot of damage. That'll blow trees over. If you got anything loose in your yard, it's going to blow it away. And hopefully, it won't be that intense when it gets here to us in Knoxville. But that is the storm. It's headed right toward us. And that whole line has really intensified again. Wish I could get that map pulled up. Okay, so in radar Omega, I'm the blue dot right there that you guys can see. Produced at 136 mile per hour wind gust. So that's what's headed right to Knoxville. Yeah, it's not gotten here yet. It's still off to our west just a little bit. It's getting close. And it looks like, let's see, what would it be right now? See if I can tell kind of where the leading edge is right now. It looks like the most intense is coming through Lakeland Estates, Buttermilk Shores. Woodlawn will be next. That's just west of Dixie Lee Junction, if anybody knows where that's at. But there's a line that stretches, well, really all the way basically from Jacksboro down to about Sweetwater. That's very intense. It's entering Oak Ridge right now. And again, I cannot show you the camera I can pull up in Oak Ridge because can't do it without permission from the owner or I'll get in trouble. But it's not even there yet, and they're getting 62 mile per hour wind gust at the Oak Ridge at UT at Oak Ridge. They just had 37-mile-per-hour wind gust. 62 has been the highest so far right there. But again, it's just about to get there, the leading edge. So I suspect that it's going to be more than that. 56-mile-per-hour wind gust. So guys, the biggest thing I can tell everybody is watching, be prepared for the wind. That's going to be the biggest threat. Can't rule out a quick spin up tornado, but the biggest thing is going to be the high winds as they move in. Uh, the Actually, the plateau is actually west of Kingston. You're actually, by the time you get to Kingston, you're on the east side of the plateau. Crossville, Cookville, that's where the Cumberland Plateau's at. And by the time you get to Kingston, you're really on this side of it. You do have Rockwood Mountain, it's on the other side of Kingston. And normally the plateau breaks everything up, just not this time. So looking at that line, it's headed this way. Right now, Oak Ridge is getting hammered. Now, I'm trying to get a little more information. And that line is basically severe warned all the way up and down that line from the northern part of the state all the way through the southern part of the state. So it's still intense, very intense. Well, uh, Jeff, I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of trees down. I guarantee you in Kingston with that 136-mile-per-hour gust they had, I guarantee you there's trees down there. Go back and see what they've got right now. So, okay, so at Oak Ridge, at UT at Oak Ridge, they had a 91-mile-per-hour gust. That's been the highest one. And right now they've got sustained wind of 61 miles per hour as it hits Oak Ridge. And now we are under, right here in Knoxville, all of Knoxville's basically under severe thunderstorm warning. So it's going to be here very, very quickly. And that severe thunderstorm warning doesn't expire for an hour. So I can tell you, as the leading edge of the storm came through Oak Ridge, UT, which is there as you just go into Oak Ridge on the main road where that sensor's at. They had a 91-mile-per-hour wind gust, and then it stayed sustained for quite a bit at 61 miles an hour. And once it passed by, it's that leading edge, and it's very quick, but now it's down to 10 miles an hour sustained. So once the leading edge passes, you're kind of out of the woods because even at Kingston right now, where we had that 131-mile-per-hour wind gust, now sustained winds are 2.8. So I don't know what it's going to be when it gets here, but it's not going to be good. Um, Looking at the sensor on UT campus here, right now 21 mile per hour sustained. 32 is the most wind gust they've had so far. I'm going to leave that sensor up so I can watch it because I'm really curious to when that thing rolls in here, what it's going to do. Yeah, it may not be a bad idea to get on the Skywarn net. And the winds are starting right here on Level Road where I'm at, and the leading edge is still off to the west of us. Um, it's going to be in Powell in probably about 20, 30 minutes. It's going to hit Powell. It's almost in Solway and Carnes right now. Fixing to hit Hardin Valley. Again, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. In fact, we're close. So definitely have lightning to the north of me. So we're going to head right over to Hardin Valley and catch it. I hope. Now, I apologize. I cannot read the chat while I'm driving, of course. But it does look like to the north of me is where the most intense part of it's going to be. So we're just going to get there. If we can quit getting hit by red lights here. And again, once the leading edge goes through, whatever happens, happens. And then we're going to have a lot of rain and we're still going to have some so-so winds. That edge is just off to my west, and I do mean just off to my west. Oh, that was awesome lightning. I hope that showed up. Oh, it did. That was awesome. So at least the storms aren't as intense as they were out west and even in West Tennessee. For anybody that doesn't know, there was a tornado that touched down in Clarksville, Tennessee earlier. I don't know how much damage. I know there was some. And again, after this is out of here, then we got to talk about the snow later today, which the good thing is the ground's warm enough. We're not going to have any travel problems, but we're going to be seeing snow showers. And I think the leading edge is almost on top of me. So here in the next few minutes, it's going to get very intense here. So everybody in Knoxville, be prepared. Make sure you're somewhere safe. Because if we have any 136 mile per hour wind gust here, it's going to be nasty. Oh yeah, here it comes. Oh yeah, wow. And the winds are blowing. Oh, don't kill me, my feed locked up. Oh. All right, guys, we're in it. The leading edge is approaching right now, and it's still. I'm looking at radar. It's still off to the side. He's still off to the west of me a little bit.